Most people don't lack goals, they lack the discipline to follow through. Freedom isn't doing whatever you want, it's having control over what matters. The life you want won't build itself. It needs your discipline every single day. Everyone wants freedom, but not everyone understands where real freedom comes from. It's not in comfort, it's not in distractions, and it's definitely not in waiting for motivation. Real freedom is when you don't have to rely on willpower because you've built habits that move you forward. It's waking up with purpose. It's saying no to what slows you down. It's choosing progress even when it's hard. Discipline gives you the power to live on your own terms, to work, think, move, and create with intention. You stop reacting and start leading your life. This video will show you why discipline isn't your enemy, it's your greatest ally. If you've been feeling stuck, lost, or held back, this will change how you see everything. If you're ready to take control of your life and build the freedom you truly want, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Choose structure over chaos to control your life. You know, one of the greatest decisions you will ever make in your life is to choose structure over chaos. Not because it's easy, but because it gives you control. Control over your day. Control over your mind. Control over your future. Most people walk around confused, overwhelmed, and frustrated, not because they don't have talent, not because they're lazy, but because their life has no structure. There's no clear order to what they do. Everything is a reaction. They wake up late, rush out the door, forget half the things they need, and spend the day just trying to catch up. That's chaos. That's a life ruled by chance, not choice. Now the truth is, chaos feels easy at first. You can sleep in, scroll your phone, avoid the hard things, and tell yourself, I'll get to it later. But over time, that ease becomes your trap. You lose time, you lose energy, you lose momentum. And the worst part, you lose belief in yourself. Every time you say you'll do something, and you don't, a part of you starts to doubt your own words. Discipline is what fixes that. Discipline is not about being harsh or rigid. It's about building a life that works. It's the difference between knowing where your day is going and just hoping it goes well. Structure gives your life direction. It tells your brain, we have a plan. And once your brain knows that, everything gets easier. You don't waste energy deciding what to do. You don't panic when problems show up. You're not pulled around by your feelings. You follow your plan. You stay on course. That's how you build control. One day at a time, one habit at a time. That's what most people misunderstand. They think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But the real freedom is knowing you're in charge of your life. And that only comes from structure. That only comes from discipline. If you want to feel good at the end of your day, if you want to sleep peacefully knowing you did what you said you would, you need structure. You need to know what matters. You need to put it in order. And then you need to protect that order, like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. The structure you create will either lift you or limit you. If your daily routine is built on distractions, delays, and shortcuts, your life will feel chaotic. But if your routine is built on purpose, focus, and consistent effort, your life starts to rise. You start to feel proud of yourself. You start to feel strong. You start to trust your own voice. And that feeling, that inner trust, that is powerful. That's when you stop needing outside motivation. You become your own engine, your own leader. People often say they don't have time, but it's not about time. It's about direction. Two people can have the same 24 hours, and one builds something great while the other just drifts. The difference is structure. The difference is who took responsibility, who decided that their life matters enough to plan it, to guide it, to shape it. When you choose structure, you also choose peace. You no longer wake up feeling behind. You don't live in guilt or regret. You're not constantly apologizing to yourself for what you didn't do. You begin to build momentum. One good day becomes two. 2 days become a week becomes a month. And soon, you've built something solid, something that can carry you through the tough times. Because life will always have tough times. But when your life is structured, when it's built on discipline, those tough times don't break you. They challenge you, but they don't stop you. You adjust, you adapt, but you don't collapse. You have a system, you have a standard, and standards are what shape your future, not wishes, not hopes. Standards, the standard you set for how you wake up, how you eat, how you work, how you treat others, how you treat yourself. Every little standard matters, and structure helps you keep those standards high. Without structure, even the strongest intentions fade away. You don't need to do everything at once. That's not what discipline is about. It's about deciding what matters most, and giving that your energy. Not everything needs your attention, but the things that do, they need your full focus. You can't build a strong life on half-hearted effort. You can't build peace on chaos. If you want to feel calm, if you want to feel steady, structure is your answer. Create a plan, follow it, adjust when needed, but don't abandon it. Don't leave your life up to chance. Don't wait for motivation to carry you. It won't always be there, but structure will be. Discipline will be. And there's something beautiful that happens when you start to live this way. You begin to feel powerful. You start to enjoy the process. You look at your calendar and it reflects your values. Your time reflects your priorities. Your habits reflect your goals. That's not pressure. That's power. That's control. That's freedom. Real freedom is not running away from responsibility. It's rising to meet it. It's saying, I am the one who decides where this life is going, and then proving it every single day by the way you show up, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching. That's what makes you strong. That's what builds confidence. And confidence doesn't come from talk. It comes from action, from knowing you're doing what needs to be done, from seeing the results of your own effort. That's a quiet power. You don't need to brag about it. People will see it. They'll feel it. It shows in the way you carry yourself, in the way you speak, in the way you live. You won't need to control everything around you, because you've already taken control of yourself. And that's the greatest strength a person can have. Not control over others, but control over their own choices, their own thoughts, their own emotions. That's what discipline gives you. That's what structure creates. So if your life feels messy, if your days feel like they're running you instead of the other way around, start with one thing, one routine, one habit, one promise to yourself that you keep. And from there, build, slowly, steadily, patiently, because this isn't a quick fix. This is a way of life. And once you live this way, you won't want to go back. You'll feel stronger, clearer, freer. Discipline is the key. Structure is the tool. Freedom is the result. And it all starts when you decide you're done living in chaos. When you decide your life deserves order, purpose, and peace. You don't need permission. You need commitment. Make that commitment today, and build the life you were meant to live. Chapter 2. Set clear daily goals and stick to them. Every day offers a new chance, a fresh page waiting to be written. The way that page turns out depends largely on what you decide to do before the day even begins. Setting clear daily goals is not just a task. It's the foundation of moving forward with purpose. Without clear goals, the day becomes a blur. Time slips away like water through your fingers, and before you realize it, the day ends without much to show for it. Goals give direction. They create focus. They become the guideposts that keep your efforts on track. Clear goals work because they make the abstract real. Instead of, "I want to get better" or "I want to be successful," you say, "Today I will finish this task," or "I will spend 1 hour improving my skill." When your goals are specific and simple, your mind knows exactly what to work toward. This clarity creates confidence. It reduces confusion. It cuts through the noise and distractions that try to pull you away. There's a natural tendency to let the day's events decide what you do. Phone calls, emails, social media, emergencies, they all compete for your attention. If you don't have your own priorities set, you become a passenger in your own life. Your time is taken by things that don't move you forward. But when you set daily goals, you're the driver. You're the one making decisions based on what matters most to you. Writing down your goals before the day starts is one of the most powerful habits you can develop. It's not enough to keep them in your head, because thoughts are fleeting. But when you write them down, you give them weight. They become commitments you can look at and measure. This act makes your brain take those goals seriously. It's like a contract you make with yourself. There's something satisfying and motivating about crossing a goal off a list. That small victory builds momentum and feeds your sense of accomplishment. Even when the goal is small, completing it gives your mind a boost. It reminds you that you are capable, you are moving forward. It's a simple act, but its effect is profound. Another important aspect is keeping your goals realistic. Setting the bar too high can cause frustration and discouragement, but setting it too low keeps you stuck. The right goals push you just enough to stretch your abilities without breaking your spirit. They challenge you to improve without overwhelming you. When goals are clear and reasonable, your actions become intentional. You stop drifting from one thing to another. Instead, you invest your energy where it counts. This way, your efforts start to build upon each other. One small success leads to another. Your progress becomes visible, and that visibility keeps you motivated. Sticking to your goals requires discipline, but it's not about being hard on yourself. It's about respect. Respect for your time, your dreams, and your potential. Each day that you follow through with what you planned, you reinforce this respect. You prove to yourself that your goals are important. You show that your word matters. This builds a foundation of trust between you and yourself, which is essential for long-term success. There will be distractions, and sometimes the day won't go as planned. That's normal. Life is unpredictable. The key is to return to your goals as soon as possible. Adjust if needed, but don't abandon them. Flexibility is part of discipline. It's about adapting without losing sight of what you want. When you practice this balance, you gain resilience. You stop seeing setbacks as failures and start seeing them as lessons. One way to strengthen your commitment to daily goals is to keep them visible throughout the day. Posting them on your desk, setting reminders on your phone, or reviewing them several times can help keep your focus sharp. This constant reminder creates a sense of urgency. It pushes you to take action instead of procrastinating. It's a way of telling your mind, this is important, this is not optional. The energy you bring to your goals also matters. Approaching your daily goals with positive intention changes your whole experience. Instead of seeing them as chores, see them as steps toward the life you want. This mindset shift makes your work more enjoyable. It creates a sense of purpose that fuels persistence. When you complete a goal, pause for a moment to appreciate what you've done. Notice how it feels to follow through. Feel the satisfaction in your body. Let that feeling grow. This emotional connection to your success encourages you to keep going. It's a form of self-reward that strengthens your motivation naturally. It's also important to remember that some goals are about growth, not just results. A goal to read for 30 minutes, to practice a new skill, or to connect with someone meaningful may not produce immediate visible rewards. But these goals build your character and expand your opportunities. When you focus on daily actions that improve who you are, the results will come. Consistency is the secret ingredient. One great day is good, but what changes your life is many great days in a row. Each day you set clear goals and meet them, you build a habit, and habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They shape your character and determine your future far more than big, rare bursts of effort. Avoid overloading your list. Too many goals can dilute your focus and drain your energy. Choose the few things that will have the biggest impact. Quality over quantity always wins. When your list is manageable, you approach it with enthusiasm instead of dread. Sometimes the simplest goal can have the deepest impact. Maybe it's deciding to get up a little earlier, or to take time for quiet reflection before starting the day. Maybe it's focusing on one important task instead of multitasking. Small choices like these, when practiced daily, create a ripple effect in your life. In the evenings, reviewing your goals and what you accomplished helps you learn and improve. Celebrate what you did well, and honestly consider where you struggled. This reflection is not for self-criticism, but for growth. It helps you plan better tomorrow and keeps you honest with yourself. Remember, setting goals is not about perfection, it's about progress. Some days you will exceed your expectations. Other days you may fall short. That's okay. What matters is that you keep coming back, keep setting your sights, and keep moving forward. The daily goal-setting habit connects you to your larger vision. It breaks down overwhelming dreams into simple steps you can take right now. This makes the future feel closer and more achievable. When you keep your eyes on your goals, your mind becomes sharp and alert. You start noticing opportunities you might have missed before. Life can be unpredictable, but your daily goals anchor you. They remind you of what's important, and they help you resist distractions. They empower you to make choices that align with your values and long-term desires. Over time, this practice builds confidence and self-respect. You stop feeling like life is happening to you. Instead, you become the one making things happen. You gain control, and with control comes freedom. Discipline is not punishment. It is the commitment to show up for yourself every day. Setting clear daily goals and sticking to them is an act of kindness toward your future self. It's a way of saying, I care enough about who I want to become to take these steps today. Every successful person knows this truth. Their achievements are the result of daily choices made with intention and consistency. There are no shortcuts, no magic formulas. There's only the simple practice of deciding what matters and doing it, again and again. So start now by deciding what your goals are today. Make them clear. Make them meaningful. Write them down. Keep them visible. Follow through with kindness and persistence. Feel the power that comes from knowing you're in control. Feel the peace that comes from living with purpose. This habit of setting clear daily goals will not only change your days, it will change your life. Chapter 3. Train your mind to do hard things daily. The mind is the battleground where freedom is won or lost. It's where the fight for control happens every single day. What most people don't realize is that the mind can be trained just like the body. But unlike the body, the mind's training isn't about strength or speed. It's about willpower, focus, and the ability to face discomfort without running away. Doing hard things every day is the way to train your mind to be strong. It's not about some grand heroic effort once in a while. It's about the small, consistent challenges you accept willingly. That's where real growth happens. When you choose to tackle difficult tasks regularly, you teach your mind that discomfort is normal. You show it that pain and effort are not enemies to be avoided, but signals that you're moving forward. This rewires how your brain reacts to challenges. Instead of shrinking back, you begin to lean in. This shift changes your entire experience. You become someone who doesn't shy away from struggle, but faces it head-on. The reason this is so powerful is because life doesn't get easier. You get stronger. If you wait for life to become easy, you'll be waiting forever. Challenges will always show up. But when your mind is trained to do hard things, those challenges don't paralyze you. They become opportunities to prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. Every day brings choices. You can choose the easy path or the hard path. Choosing the hard path daily builds discipline. It strengthens your character. It builds resilience. When you make hard decisions consistently, your brain starts creating new habits. Habits that protect you from weakness. Habits that keep you moving forward even when motivation fades. Training your mind to face difficulty isn't about punishment or suffering. It's about respect. Respect for your goals, your potential, and your future. When you look at a hard task and say yes to it, you're telling yourself that you believe you're worth the effort. You're saying that your dreams are more important than temporary comfort. One of the biggest obstacles is the mind's natural desire for comfort. It craves safety and ease. It tries to avoid pain and uncertainty. But the real growth zone is just beyond that comfort. By stepping into discomfort regularly, you expand your comfort zone. You teach yourself that you can survive and even thrive in situations that once felt impossible. Start small. The mind doesn't become strong overnight. It needs daily training. This could be as simple as waking up earlier than usual, finishing a task you've been putting off, or pushing through a moment of doubt instead of giving in. These small wins accumulate. They create a foundation of mental toughness that grows over time. Hard things come in many forms. It might be saying no to distractions. It might be having difficult conversations. It might be sitting with uncomfortable feelings instead of running from them. Each time you choose to confront these challenges, you build courage. That courage becomes a muscle you can call on whenever life tests you. When you do hard things daily, you also develop patience. Progress is rarely instant. The mind often wants quick results, but real transformation takes time. Training your mind teaches you to stay committed even when the payoff isn't immediate. This patience keeps you steady, focused, and consistent. There will be moments when your mind begs for relief. Moments when quitting feels like the only option. This is where discipline shows up. Discipline is the voice inside that says, "Not today." It's the quiet strength that keeps you going even when your emotions scream otherwise. This voice grows louder the more you train your mind. Facing hard things daily also sharpens your problem-solving skills. When you consistently challenge yourself, you start to see obstacles differently. They no longer feel like roadblocks but puzzles to be solved. Your mind becomes more creative and resourceful. It searches for solutions instead of giving up. Another benefit is confidence. Each time you complete a difficult task, you prove to yourself that you can handle what life throws your way. This builds a deep trust in your own abilities. You stop doubting yourself so much. You start believing that no matter what happens, you have what it takes. It's important to recognize that training your mind doesn't mean ignoring rest or self-care. Strength isn't about burning out. It's about balance. Part of mental toughness is knowing when to push and when to recover. Training your mind to do hard things includes training it to listen to your body and emotions wisely. Consistency is the key. Missing one day isn't failure, but giving up is. Mental training is a marathon, not a sprint. Some days will be easier than others. The goal is to keep showing up, to keep choosing the hard path more often than the easy one. Over time, this creates a lifestyle where discomfort no longer controls you. One way to strengthen this habit is to plan your hard tasks. Don't leave them to chance or mood. Decide what hard thing you will do each day and commit to it. When it's on your schedule, it's easier to follow through. This builds reliability and accountability within yourself. The process is not about self-criticism or harshness. It's about building a relationship with yourself based on honesty and respect. When you face a hard task and succeed, celebrate it quietly. Feel the strength building inside. When you struggle, acknowledge it without shame and use it as fuel to try again tomorrow. Train your mind by paying attention to your thoughts. Notice when your mind wants to avoid discomfort. Notice the excuses it makes. Then gently but firmly, remind yourself of your bigger purpose. Remind yourself that the pain of effort is temporary, but the rewards are lasting. Hard things teach humility too. They remind you that you are human and that growth requires effort. But they also teach pride. Pride in your persistence, your courage, and your commitment. This humility and pride create a healthy balance that keeps you grounded and motivated. Each day spent doing hard things is an investment in your future. The strength you build today will carry you through tough times tomorrow. It's like building a mental reserve you can draw on when life gets complicated or overwhelming. This practice also changes how you view success and failure. When you train your mind daily, failure becomes less frightening. It's simply a part of the process, a step on the path. You learn to see failure as feedback, not as a final verdict. This mindset frees you from fear and keeps you moving. The benefits spill over into every area of life. Your relationships improve because you are more patient and understanding. Your work improves because you bring focus and perseverance. Your health improves because you push through excuses and take care of your body. Remember, the strongest people are not those who never struggle, but those who keep moving forward despite struggle. Training your mind to do hard things every day builds this strength. It builds a spirit that refuses to quit, no matter how tough the journey. This kind of mental training is the essence of true freedom. When your mind is strong, no circumstance can shake you. No obstacle can stop you. You are free from fear, doubt, and hesitation. You are free to live on your terms, fully and boldly. Commit to this daily practice. Face the hard things willingly. Embrace the discomfort as a sign of progress. Trust that each effort shapes you into the person you are meant to be. With this mindset, every challenge becomes a stepping stone, every difficulty a teacher, and every day an opportunity to grow stronger. There is no shortcut to this. No magic pill, just the quiet, steady work of training your mind every day to do what is hard but necessary. This is the path to freedom that lasts. The kind of freedom that can't be taken away. The kind of freedom that comes from within. Chapter 4. Stop negotiating with yourself, and just show up. There is a moment every day when the mind tries to bargain with itself. A voice inside whispers reasons why now might not be the best time to start, to work, to push forward. It's subtle but persistent. It offers excuses dressed as choices. It asks for just a little more rest, a small break, or a tiny delay. This internal negotiation is one of the biggest enemies to progress. It slows down action. It weakens resolve. It steals time and energy before the day has truly begun. Stopping this inner negotiation is crucial. Showing up consistently, without hesitation or argument, is where real success begins. When you stop debating with yourself, you free up your mental energy. You stop wasting time thinking about whether you should start. Instead, you focus entirely on doing. This shift transforms the way you move through your day and your life. Showing up means more than just being present physically. It means arriving with intention and commitment. It means deciding that you are going to face whatever task or challenge is before you, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Feelings come and go, but your commitment can remain steady. This consistency builds momentum, and momentum changes everything. One of the reasons the mind negotiates so much is fear. Fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of the unknown. But every time you show up, despite fear, you weaken its power. You prove to yourself that fear doesn't have to control your actions. This strengthens your confidence and makes the next challenge easier to face. The habit of showing up also builds trust between you and yourself. When you keep your promises, even the small ones, you reinforce your self-respect. This trust is the foundation for bigger goals and greater achievements. Without it, doubt creeps in and progress stalls. Procrastination is just a form of negotiation with yourself. It's the mind's way of delaying discomfort, but it always costs more in the long run. The longer you put things off, the heavier they feel. The more you negotiate, the less energy you have to do what matters. Breaking free from this cycle means acting immediately. It means starting before motivation strikes, before you feel ready. This kind of discipline does not rely on feelings. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Showing up is a decision you make before you feel like it. It's about training yourself to begin, regardless of circumstances. This is what separates those who achieve from those who only dream. The practice of showing up regularly rewires your brain. It creates a pathway where action becomes automatic. The mental friction that once made starting difficult slowly disappears. Tasks that seemed overwhelming become manageable. The resistance lessens because you've proven time and again that you are capable. Some days will be harder than others. The mind will fight harder to negotiate on those days. But showing up exactly when it's tough builds character. It builds grit. It teaches you that the discomfort of getting started is temporary, but the satisfaction of progress lasts. Showing up also means being present in the moment. It's not about rushing through tasks or just checking boxes. It's about fully engaging with whatever you are doing. When you do this, your work improves and your sense of fulfillment grows. You start to enjoy the process, not just the results. There is a difference between waiting for the perfect moment and creating the moment by showing up. The perfect moment rarely comes. Conditions will never be ideal, but action creates opportunity. Showing up opens doors. It starts a chain reaction that leads to growth. The mind often convinces itself that small delays don't matter. Just 5 more minutes, it says, or I'll start after this one thing. But those 5 minutes turn into an hour and the cycle repeats. Recognizing these patterns and interrupting them is key. The interruption is simple. Just show up. Accountability helps in this process. Sharing your goals and commitments with others increases the likelihood that you'll show up. Knowing someone else is watching can silence the inner negotiator. But even when no one is watching, showing up for yourself matters most. It's helpful to prepare yourself the night before. Decide in advance what you will do and when. This reduces the chance for negotiation in the morning. Having a clear plan removes uncertainty, which is often the root of hesitation. Showing up builds resilience, not only in your work, but in your entire life. It creates a habit of facing difficulties head-on instead of avoiding them. This habit carries over to relationships, health, and personal growth. When you train yourself to show up consistently, you become dependable. People notice. Opportunities grow. When the mind tries to argue, acknowledge it but don't engage. Recognize the excuses for what they are, just thoughts, not commands. Then redirect your focus to your commitment. This simple practice strengthens your mental discipline. Showing up is also a form of self-love. It means valuing your goals and dreams enough to give them attention every day. It means respecting your potential and refusing to let laziness or doubt dictate your actions. Sometimes showing up means starting small. Even a tiny step forward is progress. The size of the action matters less than the consistency. Over time, small steps build into significant change. Avoid waiting for motivation to strike. Motivation is fleeting and unreliable. Instead, rely on the habit of showing up. Build a routine where showing up becomes second nature. This routine will carry you through moments of low energy or uncertainty. The power of showing up lies in its simplicity. It doesn't require inspiration or perfect conditions. It only requires a decision, a choice to begin, a choice to move forward, even when it's hard. Reflecting on your progress can reinforce this habit. At the end of each day, notice the moments you showed up despite hesitation. Celebrate those wins quietly. Use them as fuel to keep going. Showing up consistently creates a ripple effect. It changes how you see yourself. You stop viewing yourself as someone who procrastinates or avoids challenges. You start seeing yourself as a person who takes action, who follows through, who achieves. This shift in identity is powerful. It changes your mindset and your habits. It creates a new story about who you are and what you're capable of. In the long run, showing up daily is what separates those who make their dreams real from those who only wish for them. It's not about perfection or doing everything at once. It's about being present, committed, and willing to act every single day. The practice of showing up builds a life of integrity, a life where your actions match your intentions. This integrity leads to peace of mind and confidence that no external circumstances can shake. There is freedom in showing up. Freedom from doubt, from hesitation, from the chaos of indecision. When you show up, you claim your power. You take control of your journey. This power grows stronger with every day you choose to show up. It becomes a force that propels you forward, even when the path is unclear or difficult. The simple act of showing up is a declaration. It says, "I am here. I am ready. I will do the work." And that declaration echoes through every area of your life, creating momentum and opening doors. Commit to this daily practice. Stop negotiating with yourself. Choose to show up. No excuses, no delays, just action. This choice will change your life. It will build your strength. It will create the freedom you seek. And it all starts with showing up. Chapter 5. Build systems that keep you focused and consistent. Building systems to stay focused and consistent is one of the most powerful steps you can take toward creating a life of discipline and freedom. Systems are the invisible structures that guide your daily actions. They remove guesswork and reduce the need to rely on willpower alone. When your habits and routines are organized into effective systems, your focus becomes sharper, your effort becomes steady, and your progress becomes inevitable. Without systems, life feels like a constant battle against distractions, shifting priorities, and fatigue. You spend too much energy deciding what to do next, or fighting the urge to give in to temptations. This constant resistance drains you. It leads to inconsistency. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of starting strong and then fading away. A well-designed system, however, creates momentum. It channels your energy in the right direction automatically. It reduces decision fatigue by setting clear processes for how you approach your work, your rest, and your personal growth. When your environment and habits are aligned with your goals, staying focused becomes natural. The first step in building these systems is to understand your natural rhythms and tendencies. Everyone has times of day when they are more alert and productive. Design your schedule around those peak periods. Put your most important or challenging tasks in those windows. This simple adjustment leverages your natural energy, making focus easier to sustain. Another key element is minimizing distractions. Create a workspace and environment that supports your concentration. This might mean clearing clutter, turning off notifications, or setting boundaries with others during focused work time. The fewer interruptions you have, the more deeply you can engage with your tasks. Systems also mean breaking your goals into smaller, manageable actions. When a task feels overwhelming, your mind looks for reasons to avoid it. But when the process is clear and broken into steps, it's easier to start and keep going. This clarity reduces anxiety and increases your ability to persist. Consistency depends on repetition. Systems help you repeat the right actions without relying on memory or motivation. This repetition turns effort into habit. Habits free your willpower because they become automatic. When a system is in place, you don't have to think hard about what to do, you simply do it. Accountability can be built into your systems as well. This might be a daily checklist, a progress journal, or sharing your goals with someone who supports you. Knowing you will review your actions or report to someone increases your commitment and focus. Tracking your progress is another important part of a good system. When you see evidence of your efforts, it creates a positive feedback loop. You feel encouraged and motivated to keep going. Without tracking, it's easy to lose sight of how far you've come and why it matters. Rest and recovery are essential components of any effective system. Focus and consistency are not about working non-stop. They require balance. Systems that include regular breaks, healthy habits, and time for renewal prevent burnout. This balance sustains your energy over the long haul. The power of systems lies in their ability to make good choices easy and bad choices harder. For example, if your system includes preparing your workspace the night before, you reduce morning friction. If your system involves scheduling deep work sessions and protecting those times, distractions become less frequent. This structure creates a protective shield around your focus. When setbacks happen, and they will, a strong system helps you recover quickly. Instead of falling off track completely, you have built-in processes to identify what went wrong and adjust. This resilience keeps you consistent over time. Simplicity is a crucial principle when designing systems. Complex systems can feel overwhelming and hard to maintain. The best systems are simple, clear, and easy to follow. They fit naturally into your life and don't require excessive effort to sustain. Flexibility is also important. Life changes, priorities shift, and unexpected events occur. Your systems need to be adaptable. This means regularly reviewing and tweaking them to stay effective. Being rigid will lead to frustration. Being adaptable keeps your system alive and useful. A key part of building systems is creating triggers that remind you to act. These can be visual cues, alarms, or specific routines. For example, having a morning ritual signals the start of focused work. These triggers train your brain to switch into productive mode. Systems extend beyond work habits. They include how you take care of your body, manage your time, and handle your mindset. A system for health might include regular exercise, balanced meals, and sleep schedules. A system for mindset could involve daily reflection or gratitude practice. When all these areas are aligned with your goals, your overall focus and consistency improve. It's important to remember that building effective systems takes time and experimentation. What works for one person might not work for another. The process of creating and refining your systems is part of your growth journey. Each adjustment brings you closer to a structure that supports your unique needs and goals. The strength of your systems shows up in the tough moments. When motivation is low, your systems carry you. When distractions are high, your systems protect you. When life feels chaotic, your systems provide stability. This reliability is the foundation of discipline. Systems also free your mind for creativity and problem solving. When you don't have to waste energy on small decisions or battling distractions, you can focus on meaningful work. This makes your effort more effective and satisfying. Building systems requires intention. It's not something that happens by accident. You have to decide what habits and routines will best support your goals. You have to commit to setting them up and following through. This commitment is an investment in your future. Each time you successfully use your system, you reinforce its value. This reinforcement makes it easier to keep going. It builds confidence in your ability to manage your life effectively. That confidence fuels further growth. Systems turn overwhelming goals into daily routines that feel doable. They change the way you interact with your tasks. Instead of seeing obstacles, you see a clear path forward. This clarity reduces stress and increases your ability to stay consistent. Ultimately, systems are the tools that bridge your intentions and your results. They turn dreams into daily actions. They turn good ideas into habits. They turn effort into progress. Investing in building these systems creates freedom. Freedom from chaos, freedom from distraction, freedom from the constant struggle to stay on track. This freedom lets you focus on what truly matters. Your life will improve not by chance, but by design. Systems allow you to design your life intentionally. They help you build the discipline that feels natural, not forced. Start by identifying one area where you want more focus and consistency. Create a simple system for that area. Practice it daily. Adjust as needed. Watch how this small step creates momentum. Over time, these systems multiply. They build on each other. They create a life that supports your goals effortlessly. A life where discipline is not a burden but a way of being. The power of systems lies in their quiet, steady force. They work behind the scenes, shaping your habits, your mindset, and your results. When you build and maintain effective systems, you build a life of discipline that leads to real freedom. Chapter 6. Delay comfort now to gain freedom later. Choosing to delay comfort today is one of the most important decisions anyone can make. The immediate satisfaction of ease or pleasure can be tempting, but it often comes at the cost of future freedom. True freedom, the kind that lasts and transforms your life, doesn't come from chasing comfort in the moment. It comes from sacrifice, discipline, and patience. It requires understanding that what feels good right now may not serve your long-term goals. The world is full of distractions designed to pull you toward instant gratification. Social media, television, junk food, and endless entertainment offer quick relief from discomfort or boredom. These distractions promise happiness, but often deliver regret. They steal time, energy, and focus without providing lasting value. Giving in to these urges creates habits that chain you to the present moment and keep you from building the future you want. Delaying comfort means making conscious choices to prioritize your goals over temporary pleasure. It means saying no to the easy way out and yes to the path that leads to growth. This path is not always enjoyable. It requires work, sacrifice, and sometimes discomfort. But the reward is worth it, a life of independence, purpose, and control. When you choose to delay comfort, you build strength. You train your mind and body to handle challenges instead of avoiding them. This training creates resilience. It makes you capable of handling bigger responsibilities and reaching higher goals. It develops patience, which is essential because meaningful progress rarely happens overnight. The act of waiting, of working through discomfort, teaches you valuable lessons about your own character. You learn what you're truly made of. You discover that discomfort is temporary and manageable. You realize that your future self will thank you for the choices you make today. One of the most powerful examples of delayed comfort is saving money instead of spending it impulsively. It might be tempting to buy something new or indulge in a luxury, but choosing to save that money builds security. That security becomes freedom, the freedom to make choices without financial stress, to invest in your dreams, or to handle emergencies without panic. This principle applies to all areas of life. Delaying comfort in your work habits, your health routines, and your relationships sets you up for success later. It means putting in the effort when it's hard so that the future is easier and more fulfilling. Sometimes delaying comfort means enduring tough conversations, facing fears, or pushing through fatigue. These moments can feel uncomfortable and even painful, but they are the stepping stones to freedom. Avoiding them only prolongs struggle and limits your potential. The challenge is that comfort is often more visible and immediate, while freedom is distant and abstract. This makes it easy to choose short-term pleasure. That's why discipline is essential. Discipline helps you focus on what matters most, even when it's hard. Building this discipline starts with awareness. Recognize when you are tempted to choose comfort at the expense of your goals. Notice the feelings that arise and the excuses your mind creates. This awareness creates space to choose differently. Then, replace comfort with purpose. Remind yourself why you're making sacrifices. Connect to the vision of your future life, what freedom looks and feels like to you. This connection fuels your determination and makes delaying comfort meaningful. Delaying comfort doesn't mean rejecting joy or rest. It means choosing when and how to experience them wisely. Rest and celebration are vital parts of the journey, but they are most rewarding when earned through effort. This balance keeps you motivated and prevents burnout. When you delay comfort today, you create habits that support long-term success. These habits become your lifestyle. Over time, they build a foundation that allows you to live life on your terms. This foundation is freedom. The freedom gained from delayed comfort includes control over your time, financial independence, physical health, and emotional stability. It means having choices instead of feeling trapped by circumstances or impulses. Each small decision to delay comfort compounds over time. The cumulative effect is significant. What seems like a sacrifice now becomes a source of pride and strength later. You start to see how your daily choices shape your destiny. This practice also increases your confidence. When you prove to yourself that you can say no to temptation and yes to your goals, you build trust in your own willpower. This trust becomes a powerful asset that carries you through future challenges. It's important to remind yourself that delaying comfort is not about deprivation or punishment. It's about empowerment. It's about taking control of your life by choosing actions that align with your highest values. Life's greatest rewards rarely come without effort. The satisfaction of achieving something meaningful outweighs the fleeting pleasure of avoiding discomfort. This satisfaction creates lasting happiness that comfort alone cannot provide. When you train yourself to delay comfort, you also develop a clearer sense of what you truly want. You learn to distinguish between momentary desires and genuine needs. This clarity helps you make better decisions across all areas of life. Facing discomfort builds mental toughness. It prepares you for life's inevitable challenges. When difficult times come, you are ready because you have practiced endurance. You do not crumble under pressure, but meet it with strength. This mindset changes your relationship with failure as well. You see failure not as a defeat, but as a necessary part of growth. You learn to accept setbacks and keep moving forward, knowing that progress requires persistence. Delaying comfort teaches patience, the ability to wait for the right time and the right results. Patience is a skill that enhances your ability to plan, save, and work steadily toward your dreams. Ultimately, this choice leads to a life of freedom where you control your circumstances instead of being controlled by them. It gives you the power to make choices based on your values, not your impulses. This freedom feels like peace, confidence, and satisfaction. It is a deep sense of knowing that you are on the right path and that your efforts will pay off. Choosing to delay comfort is a daily decision. It's made in small moments of temptation and choice. Each time you choose discipline over ease, you strengthen the path to freedom. This journey is not easy, but it is worth every effort. It requires courage to face discomfort and determination to keep going. But the rewards are profound. You become the architect of your future, designing a life that reflects your dreams and values. You gain the freedom to live fully, authentically, and with purpose. Remember that every step away from immediate comfort is a step toward lasting freedom. This delay is not denial. It is preparation for a life of strength, joy, and true independence. Commit to this path. Embrace the temporary discomfort of today for the promise of a better tomorrow. In doing so, you create a legacy of freedom that will support you for the rest of your life. Chapter 7. Track your habits to stay sharp and aligned. Tracking habits is a simple but powerful way to maintain clarity and stay connected to your goals. When you keep track of what you do daily, you create a clear picture of your progress. This visibility helps you recognize patterns, what's working and what isn't. Without tracking, it's easy to lose direction or fall into habits that don't serve your purpose. When your habits are visible and measured, you stay sharp and aligned with what truly matters. There's something about writing down or marking off a habit that creates accountability. It turns intentions into concrete actions. When you see your progress in front of you, it motivates you to keep going. Missing a habit becomes more noticeable, and that awareness helps you adjust quickly. It's like having a mirror that reflects your commitment back to you every day. Tracking habits also helps break down big goals into manageable daily steps. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a large objective, you focus on the small actions that build toward it. This approach reduces anxiety and increases your sense of control. It shifts your focus from the distant future to the present moment, where real change happens. Many people think tracking is only about counting or numbers, but it's much more than that. It's about connection, connecting with your progress, your efforts, and your growth. This connection fuels consistency because you feel responsible for the path you're on. It's easier to keep your commitments when you see that each day matters. When habits are tracked consistently, they become part of your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through, who cares about progress, and who takes action. This identity shift strengthens your motivation and makes positive behavior more natural. Another benefit of tracking is that it highlights successes, no matter how small. Often progress feels slow or invisible, which can be discouraging, but when you log your habits, every completed day becomes a win. These wins build confidence and reinforce the belief that change is possible. Tracking also provides valuable feedback. It shows you when you're off course, so you can make timely adjustments. If you notice a habit slipping, you can investigate why and find solutions. This ongoing refinement keeps your system effective and prevents long periods of drift or stagnation. Tools for tracking can be simple: a notebook, a calendar, or a habit tracker app. The key is consistency. Whatever method you choose, use it daily. Make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Over time, the act of tracking itself becomes a habit that supports your growth. When you review your tracked habits regularly, you gain insight. You see what times of day you're strongest, which habits flow easily, and which need more attention. This awareness allows you to optimize your daily routine for maximum effectiveness. Tracking also helps prevent burnout. By noticing patterns of overexertion or neglect, you can balance your efforts better. You learn when to push harder and when to rest. This balance is crucial for sustaining discipline over the long term. The process encourages mindfulness. When you pay attention to your actions daily, you become more conscious of your choices. This mindfulness reduces mindless behavior and increases intentional living. You start to act with purpose rather than habit or impulse. Tracking habits creates a rhythm in your life. This rhythm builds momentum, making it easier to continue. Each day you complete a habit is like a beat in a steady drum, driving you forward. Missing a beat disrupts the flow, which motivates you to get back on track quickly. It's important to be honest when tracking. Don't cheat yourself or gloss over missed days. Honest tracking provides the clearest feedback and the greatest opportunity for improvement. This honesty builds integrity between you and your goals. Tracking also helps manage distractions and setbacks. When you see a disruption in your habit streak, you can respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. This control keeps you resilient and focused even when life gets complicated. Sharing your habit tracking with a trusted person can increase accountability. When someone else knows you're monitoring your progress, it adds an extra layer of commitment. This social aspect can boost motivation and create supportive encouragement. Tracking habits also enhances your ability to celebrate progress. Recognizing how far you've come helps maintain enthusiasm. Celebrations don't need to be big. Even small acknowledgements can reinforce your efforts and lift your spirit. Over time, tracked habits reveal your strengths. You learn which habits feel natural and which require more effort. This self-knowledge guides your strategy for growth, allowing you to focus on your best methods for success. When new habits are added, tracking helps integrate them smoothly into your routine. You can monitor their impact and adjust accordingly. This process reduces overwhelm and ensures sustainable growth. Tracking habits can also highlight hidden obstacles. Patterns may emerge that reveal distractions, negative environments, or unhelpful mindsets. Once identified, you can take steps to address these challenges and improve your environment. The habit of tracking trains your brain to value progress over perfection. It shifts focus from immediate results to consistent effort. This mindset encourages patience and persistence, which are vital for lasting change. Tracking also fosters gratitude. As you record your progress, you become more aware of your dedication and the opportunities you have. This awareness cultivates appreciation for the journey and builds emotional strength. When you commit to habit tracking, you gain clarity. You stop guessing about your progress and start knowing. This certainty fuels confidence and reduces anxiety about your goals. The process empowers you to take control of your personal development. You no longer feel at the mercy of circumstances or moods. Instead, you actively shape your behavior and outcomes. Tracking habits is a tool for freedom. It frees you from unconscious behavior patterns. It frees you from the cycle of starting and stopping. It frees you to live intentionally with purpose. This freedom creates peace of mind. You know you're making steady progress. You trust the process. This trust reduces stress and increases your ability to stay focused. Consistency in tracking builds momentum. Momentum builds results. Results build belief. Belief builds a stronger version of yourself. This cycle leads to transformation. Tracking is not a one-time effort. It is a lifelong practice that supports ongoing growth. As your goals evolve, your tracking adapts, keeping you aligned with your vision. Invest in building this habit today. Choose a method that works for you. Use it daily. Review your progress often. Adjust when necessary. Celebrate every win. Through consistent tracking, you create a life of discipline that feels manageable and motivating. You keep your focus sharp and your actions aligned with your deepest goals. This practice will help you stay on the path, even when distractions tempt you or motivation fades. It will guide you back to your purpose and keep you moving forward. By tracking your habits, you take ownership of your journey. You build the discipline that leads to real freedom, and that freedom is the ultimate reward for your effort. Chapter 8. Wake up early and own your quiet hours. There is something deeply powerful about waking up early. It's not just about starting the day before others. It's about owning a special time when the world is quiet and distractions are few. These early hours offer a unique opportunity to connect with your purpose, focus deeply, and set the tone for the entire day. When you claim this time, you take control of your life rather than letting the day control you. The silence of the morning is a gift. It's a space where thoughts are clearer and energy is fresh. The usual noise, emails, messages, meetings, hasn't yet begun to demand your attention. This quiet allows you to plan, reflect, and work without interruption. It's an environment where creativity flows and focus sharpens naturally. Starting early gives you more time, but it's more than just quantity. It's about quality. The hours before the rest of the world wakes up are precious. In that time, your mind can work freely on your most important tasks. You can make progress on your goals without the pull of distractions that come later. Waking up early isn't always easy at first. The temptation to stay in bed feels strong, especially when comfort is so inviting. But pushing past this resistance builds discipline and mental strength. This simple act of choosing to rise is a daily victory that sets a positive momentum. There's a rhythm to waking early that aligns with natural energy cycles. The body tends to be more rested after a full night's sleep, making the early morning a time of high alertness and clarity. By syncing your schedule with this rhythm, you maximize productivity and reduce burnout. Owning your quiet hours means using this time intentionally. It's not about checking social media or rushing through tasks. It's about engaging in activities that nourish your goals and well-being. This might include planning your day, reading, writing, exercising, or meditating. This practice also creates a buffer against the chaos that often fills the rest of the day. When you start strong and calm, you're better prepared to handle challenges and interruptions. The confidence gained from a purposeful morning carries you through stress and setbacks. Waking early cultivates patience and presence. In the stillness of the morning, you have a chance to center yourself before the demands of the day. This moment of calm improves your mindset and emotional resilience. You face the day grounded rather than rushed or reactive. The habit of waking early connects you with a tradition of great achievers throughout history. Many successful people credit their accomplishments to the extra hours gained in the morning. This time was used to focus, think deeply, and take meaningful action. Consistency in waking early creates a routine that supports long-term success. The body and mind adjust, making it easier over time. This routine signals to your brain when it's time to rest and when it's time to act, creating a natural flow that supports discipline. Planning the night before helps ensure success in waking early. Preparing your environment and setting clear intentions reduce morning friction. When your tasks and priorities are laid out, it's easier to jump into action instead of feeling overwhelmed. The early hours also offer space for self-improvement. Many use this time for learning, whether through reading, studying, or practicing new skills. This commitment to growth sets a positive tone and creates daily progress that compounds. Physical health benefits too. Early risers often find it easier to incorporate exercise into their routine. Moving the body in the morning energizes you and sharpens mental focus. It also improves mood and reduces stress, creating a positive feedback loop. Waking early helps manage time better. When you start ahead, you create breathing room in your schedule. This breathing room allows flexibility later without sacrificing productivity. You avoid the rush and overwhelm that come from cramming too much into limited time. This practice encourages gratitude. The calm morning invites reflection on what you're thankful for. Starting the day with gratitude shifts your mindset to one of positivity and abundance. This mental shift improves overall happiness and motivation. Early hours foster creativity. Without distractions, the mind can wander, explore ideas, and make connections. This creative space often leads to breakthroughs and innovations that don't happen in busier parts of the day. There is also a spiritual dimension for some in these quiet moments. The stillness invites meditation, prayer, or simply deep breathing. This connection to something larger than yourself provides strength and perspective. Waking up early is not about perfection or judgment. It's about making a choice to respect your goals and yourself. Some days will be harder than others, and that's normal. The key is to return to this habit consistently, knowing it serves your long-term freedom. When you claim these quiet hours, you reclaim control over your life. You stop reacting to the day's demands and start directing your energy where it matters most. This shift in control leads to greater confidence and peace of mind. The challenge is to begin gradually. If you're used to waking later, start by adjusting your wake-up time by just 15 minutes each day. This gentle shift allows your body and mind to adapt without shock. Over weeks, these small changes add up to a powerful new habit. Tracking your progress in waking early can reinforce the habit. Mark each successful morning on a calendar or journal your experience. Celebrate your wins and learn from setbacks. This process builds motivation and commitment. Sharing your intention to wake early with a friend or group can increase accountability. Knowing someone else supports your goal makes you more likely to follow through. This social support can be a crucial factor in sustaining change. Creating a pleasant morning routine makes waking early more enjoyable. Prepare something you look forward to, like a warm cup of tea, a favorite book, or gentle music. These small rewards make the early hours feel welcoming instead of burdensome. It's important to protect your sleep by going to bed early. The benefits of waking early depend on quality rest. Prioritize a consistent bedtime and create a relaxing pre-sleep routine. This care for your body fuels your success in the morning. The freedom gained from owning your quiet hours is profound. It gives you the power to shape your day rather than letting the day shape you. This power transforms not only your productivity, but your mindset and life satisfaction. The practice creates a foundation of discipline that extends beyond the morning. It influences your decisions, relationships, and how you face challenges. Waking early becomes a symbol of commitment to your goals and your best self. In these quiet hours, you find clarity about what matters most. You gain time to think, plan, and act without distraction. This clarity simplifies decision-making and increases effectiveness throughout the day. The strength developed in consistently waking early carries into all areas of life. It teaches you that you are capable of change and that small, consistent actions lead to big results. This lesson builds confidence and resilience. Waking early is an act of self-respect. It shows that you value your time, your goals, and your potential. This respect nurtures a positive relationship with yourself that supports ongoing growth. The peace found in morning stillness improves mental health. It reduces anxiety and stress by offering a calm start. This calmness helps you respond to life's demands with patience and balance. This habit connects you with the natural world's rhythms. Experiencing the quiet sunrise or morning breeze grounds you and renews your spirit. This connection adds meaning and beauty to your daily routine. Ultimately, waking up early and owning your quiet hours is a gift you give yourself. It's a practice that builds freedom, focus, and fulfillment. It shapes your day and your life in ways that ripple far beyond those early moments. Commit to this practice, begin with small steps, and nurture the habit daily. Over time, you will experience the power and peace that come from taking control of your mornings and, by extension, your life. Chapter 9. Say no to distractions and guard your time. Saying no to distractions is not just about avoiding interruptions. It's about protecting the most valuable resource you have, your time. Every moment spent distracted is a moment lost from your purpose and progress. Time slips away quietly, often unnoticed, but its loss accumulates into missed opportunities and regret. Guarding your time requires a firm commitment and deliberate actions. It means recognizing that every distraction has a cost and deciding that your goals are worth protecting. Distractions are everywhere, ready to steal your focus. Notifications, social media, unplanned conversations, and countless small interruptions chip away at your concentration. They break your flow and scatter your attention. The mind takes time to refocus after being pulled away, which means the real cost of distraction is far greater than the seconds or minutes lost. Guarding your time starts with awareness. Notice what pulls you away from your work or your priorities. Identify the distractions that are most common and most damaging. Awareness creates choice. Once you see what is stealing your attention, you can take steps to reduce or eliminate those interruptions. Saying no to distractions means setting boundaries. These boundaries protect your focus and create a space where you can work deeply. This might mean turning off your phone, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, or letting others know you are not to be disturbed during certain times. Boundaries communicate respect for your own time and help others respect it too. A powerful way to guard your time is to schedule focused blocks for important tasks. When you commit specific hours to deep work, distractions become less frequent because your mind is engaged and your environment is prepared. Scheduled focus also trains your brain to expect periods of concentration, making it easier to enter productive states. Distractions often come disguised as urgent matters. The mind can trick you into thinking that everything needs your attention immediately. Learning to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important protects your time. Prioritizing your important work ensures that your efforts create meaningful progress. Technology is a major source of distraction, but can also be a tool for focus if managed well. Use apps and settings that limit notifications or block distracting websites during work periods. These tools act like digital boundaries that help maintain your attention. Saying no also means learning to decline requests that don't align with your goals. People will ask for your time and energy, sometimes in ways that derail your priorities. It takes courage and clarity to say no politely but firmly. This practice frees up time for what truly matters. Protecting your time includes managing your environment. A cluttered, noisy, or chaotic space invites distraction. Creating a clean, organized, and quiet workspace supports your ability to focus. When your surroundings are intentional, your mind follows. Time guards don't rely solely on willpower. They design habits and systems to reduce distraction. For example, setting a timer for focused work or using a to-do list keeps your attention directed. These systems support discipline by providing structure. Distraction is often a symptom of boredom or fatigue. When your mind is restless, it seeks stimulation. Guarding your time means also taking care of your energy through breaks, rest, and healthy habits. A rested mind focuses better and resists distractions more easily. Mindfulness is a tool to say no to distractions. Being present in the moment helps you catch when your attention drifts. This awareness allows you to gently bring focus back without judgment. Over time, mindfulness trains your brain to sustain attention longer. The cost of distraction is not only lost time, but also reduced quality of work. When focus is fragmented, mistakes increase, creativity suffers, and effort feels inefficient. Guarding your time protects the quality of your results. It's important to recognize that distractions can be addictive. The quick dopamine hit from checking a phone or browsing aimlessly can pull you back repeatedly. Awareness of this pattern helps break the cycle by choosing healthier focus habits. Guarding your time requires intention every day. It's a constant choice to prioritize and protect. Habits like planning your day, setting clear goals, and reviewing your progress support this intention. Saying no to distractions also means managing your internal dialogue. Sometimes the biggest distraction is your own mind wandering. Training your focus includes learning to quiet unproductive thoughts and return to the task at hand. This practice builds mental discipline, which strengthens over time. As your ability to say no grows, your confidence and effectiveness increase. You become someone who commands their time rather than being commanded by it. When distractions arise, respond calmly and decisively. Instead of reacting impulsively, acknowledge the distraction and redirect your attention. This pause creates space for choice rather than habit. Guarding your time is an act of self-respect. It communicates that your goals, dreams, and well-being are important. This respect builds a positive self-image that motivates further discipline. This practice also improves your relationships. When you manage your time well, you can give full attention to others when it matters. Quality focus in interactions deepens connection and trust. Sometimes distractions are social pressures or cultural expectations to always be available. Saying no requires setting limits that protect your priorities, even if it means disappointing others temporarily. Long-term respect and success depend on these boundaries. Guarding your time creates freedom. Freedom from chaos, overwhelm, and feeling pulled in too many directions. It creates the space to focus deeply and produce your best work. The ability to say no to distractions is a skill that can be learned and improved. Start small by identifying one common distraction and creating a plan to reduce it. Celebrate your successes and adjust as needed. Over time, these small wins accumulate into a powerful habit of focus. This habit supports every goal and area of life. It turns intention into reality. Remember, every moment you protect from distraction is a moment invested in your future. Your time is your life, and how you use it shapes your destiny. Commit to guarding your time fiercely. Treat it as the precious resource it is. This commitment will transform your productivity, your mindset, and your freedom. By saying no to distractions, you create a life where your actions align with your values and goals. This alignment brings peace, confidence, and success. Your focus is a gift to yourself and the world. Protect it with intention and care. This is the path to real freedom. Discipline over distraction, clarity over chaos, and control over your time. Chapter 10. Make discipline your default, not your last option. Discipline is often seen as something to reach for only when motivation runs low or when situations become difficult. But this mindset turns discipline into a backup plan rather than a natural way of living. Making discipline your default means it becomes your first response, not your last resort. It transforms how you approach every day, every task, and every challenge. When discipline is your baseline, it shapes your habits, your mindset, and your actions consistently, leading to freedom rather than restriction. When discipline is treated as a last option, you rely heavily on fleeting feelings of motivation or willpower. These feelings are unreliable. They come and go. Waiting for motivation to push you forward means you're often stuck waiting. This waiting creates gaps in effort, inconsistency, and missed opportunities. Discipline as a default removes this uncertainty by creating steady, reliable momentum. Making discipline your default is about building habits that don't require constant decision-making. It's about automating good choices so they happen naturally. When discipline is ingrained, you don't have to debate whether to act or not. The right actions become your routine, your standard way of being. This routine reduces mental fatigue because your brain isn't spending energy on endless choices. This approach starts with commitment. A true commitment to your goals makes discipline non-negotiable. It means showing up day after day, regardless of mood or circumstance. When discipline is your default, you accept that effort is necessary and you prepare yourself to follow through consistently. A key part of this process is self-awareness. Understanding your triggers for procrastination or distraction helps you design systems that prevent them. This might involve setting specific times for focused work, removing temptations from your environment, or creating clear priorities. These structures support discipline naturally rather than relying on willpower alone. Discipline as a default also means embracing discomfort. Growth and progress often involve facing challenges that are not easy or comfortable. When discipline is your baseline, you don't avoid these moments or delay action until you feel ready. Instead, you meet difficulty head-on, knowing it is part of the process. This mindset builds resilience. You develop the ability to persist even when things get tough. This persistence is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who give up. Discipline strengthens your mental muscles, making you capable of sustained effort over time. Creating an environment that supports discipline is essential. Your surroundings, tools, and routines should encourage focus and reduce distractions. When your environment aligns with your goals, maintaining discipline becomes simpler and less taxing. Part of making discipline your default is understanding the value of small actions repeated daily. Discipline is not about dramatic bursts of effort, but steady, consistent progress. This steady rhythm builds momentum, and momentum builds results. Over time, this compounding effect leads to significant achievements. The mindset behind discipline as a default rejects excuses. It acknowledges obstacles but refuses to let them dictate behavior. Instead of asking, "Why should I?" you ask, "How can I?" This shift in thinking opens possibilities and drives action. When discipline is automatic, it frees your mind to focus on creativity, problem solving, and growth. You spend less time battling inner resistance and more time moving forward. This freedom increases your effectiveness and satisfaction. Accountability plays a role in strengthening discipline. When you commit to others or use tools to track progress, you create external support that reinforces your internal commitment. This support makes discipline easier to maintain over time. Discipline also improves your relationships and overall well-being. When you manage your responsibilities effectively, stress decreases. You can be more present with others and take care of your health, creating balance in life. Making discipline your default means redefining how you think about effort. It's not punishment or deprivation. It's an investment in your future freedom and happiness. This positive association increases motivation and reduces resistance. It's important to recognize that discipline is a skill, not a trait you either have or don't. Like any skill, it can be developed with practice and patience. Start with small, manageable commitments and build from there. Each success strengthens your discipline muscle. Reflection is a valuable tool in this process. Regularly reviewing your progress, challenges, and strategies helps you stay aligned and make necessary adjustments. This practice ensures that discipline remains effective and relevant to your goals. Discipline as a default shifts your focus from short-term feelings to long-term vision. It keeps you connected to why you started and what you want to achieve. This connection provides strength when immediate rewards are not visible. This approach creates stability in your life. You develop predictable patterns of action that reduce stress and increase confidence. This stability becomes a foundation for taking on bigger challenges and responsibilities. Making discipline your default also involves managing your energy wisely. Recognize when you need rest and recovery to sustain effort. Balance is key to avoiding burnout and maintaining high performance. The process requires patience. Building discipline is a journey, not a sprint. There will be setbacks and moments of struggle. The difference is that when discipline is your baseline, you get back on track quickly without judgment. Over time, living with discipline as your default changes your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through, who can be trusted to do what is necessary. This identity strengthens your confidence and motivates further growth. This mindset impacts how you handle failure. Discipline teaches you to view failure as feedback, not defeat. You learn to analyze what went wrong, adjust your approach, and continue moving forward. When discipline is your automatic response, life becomes less chaotic. You avoid the stress of last-minute efforts and the anxiety of missed opportunities. You create a life where your actions and intentions are aligned. The freedom that comes from making discipline your default is profound. It's freedom from procrastination, distraction, and inconsistency. It's freedom to create the life you want with confidence and purpose. Commit to this approach by choosing to act consistently, regardless of how you feel. Create routines, build habits, and design your environment to support discipline naturally. Celebrate your progress and learn from challenges. By making discipline your default, you unlock your potential and open the door to lasting success. This is the foundation upon which all great achievements are built. Discipline becomes less of a struggle and more of a way of life. It becomes the quiet force that drives you forward, shapes your character, and leads you to true freedom.